What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to this edition of R-Cade. On this edition of R-Cade, we're talking about THQ gets a little bit of a new president, thank God, and the Wii U's new game list supposedly is already leaked, and a little bit of Dead Space 3 screenshots. Yes, this edition of R-Cade starts right now. Yes, they can take my life, but they'll never take my booze. Welcome to this edition of R-Cade. Yes, we've got alcohol on hand. I'm your host, Adam, as I take a wonderful big sip here. Oh yeah, so if you're over the age of 21, we wish that you would, join in some beverage drinking with us. So tonight, guys, we've got a very special edition. Tonight is our E3 predictions. We're laying this thing back a little bit and just kind of coasting until next week it gets hectic. So tonight we've got three special guests. We've got Stu, Dave, and Cosmic here. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, just kind of chilling.
So you all got what is this, Stu? What do you have on your end here? Do you have a wonderful beverage? Oh, Foster's.
Nice, cool Fosters.
Australian for tastes better than here.
Pretty much.
And we got Dave. Dave, you're enjoying a little bit of what? What is this?
Well, a little Coke Zero mixed with a little something harder.
Really? And then we have
surprise.
We got Cosmic here. What's going on, buddy? What are we drinking on that end?
I don't know. I'm not getting paid a sponsor, so therefore I'm not gonna say.
Oh, well then that's fine then. That's fine. Whatever.
Hence the reason why the logo is towards me, not the camera. There we go.
And with me, I've got a little bit of rum and coke in this thing right here. So welcome to the new studio for a little bit. As E3 kicks off, we'll be hitting this thing a lot. So be prepared on Monday, early in the morning. Yes, that's why we're laying back now and drinking now, because there's no drinking next week. It's nothing but news and stories. So I'm gonna kick it over to Stu. Stu, what have you been playing lately? Anything new? What have you been doing? Anything?
Apart from working on the website and making phone calls to my internet provider, which I think we've all been doing lately.
Very rage-filled calls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Battlefield 3 and a little bit of Ghost Recon, so mainly shooting people.
That and a lot of website work, which has been nothing but a lot of work lately.
Hey, I don't sleep.
That's what happens. So we'll kick it over to Dave. Dave, anything interesting been happening this week? Anything new?
Well, I joined the kick my service providers, but Legion as well, but now mine's fixed. You guys still have issues. Mine's fixed.
Any
other
games?
than that, just Age of Conan and a little bit of the Secret World beta, and cleaning my basement out and getting ready for my trip in 2 weeks. So,
which you cannot wait for.
I cannot wait for. However, I'm going to admonish Funcom. I'm coming to Oslo, and you would not let me interview anybody. You said everybody was too busy, and then you moved the release date to the day before the 4th of July. So you should have time for me to come in there and interview you, but whatever.
We've got Cosmic. Cosmic, what have you been up to? You've been doing some what?
I've been doing a lot of stuff. Seems how, I have been MIA for the past couple of weeks on the show. Thanks to some really awesome people and giving me some early birthday presents. My computer is now back up and running with a new power supply and graphics card. So I am back on the Diablo 3, level 60, working out that Inferno mode.
How's that going for you?
That explains how long it's been
dude,
playing.
that's pretty much what it's been, dude. We're almost through Act 1 on Inferno with my group of people that I play with, so difficult, very, very rage-inducing. We've had some rage quits and some extremely hilarious moments, so...
A lot of rage quits on your end, really?
You know, when you come into a cave and there is a gold champion there with 4 attributes and he spawn kills you, yeah, no, there's no getting past that. You just gotta exit out, restart, and redo it.
And this game is not forgiving at all because, I mean, to be honest with you, the way that it seems like to me is that as soon as you get going and you think, yeah, this is good, then all of a sudden you have to leave that game, everything's back again. It starts you all over again, pretty much.
And anyone out there plays Diablo 3 who is stealing all the decent items off the auction house to where I can't get upgrades, need to stop. I'm tired of going on there and having the first 3 pages nothing but sold, okay? That's not cool. And then you go back and selling them for inflated prices, like people on there selling, like a level 20, yellow rare item for like 10 mil. No, not cool. You need to stop.
That's some cool stuff. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Shenanigans.
At least wait until everyone's finished playing it on the Inferno.
Yeah, exactly. So what we usually like to do here at R-Cade is we usually like to kick it off with some trailers of the night. The trailers of the night that we got is 2 games that I'm actually looking forward to actually playing around with. We've got Hitman, which a lot of people are blowing up a lot about this new trailer that's out. And they're getting really pissed off for some reason. I'm like, I watched the trailer. So we'll let you all be the judge of that, and we'll go ahead and kick it over to that and show you what's going on with it. So here we go. You all get to be the judge of maybe possibly that this is awesome and maybe possibly this just sucks ass. So here we go.
Judging by the title on the trailer, I could assume it could be highly offensive to some people.
Make or break it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All I can say is, hello.
I know, right?
I mean, the graphics look awesome. Just from the trailer, of course, cinematic stuff, but I mean... he looks like he's been through a hell of a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. And see, that's the offensive part. Just right there. A lot of people could take offense to that.
I don't think he would kill them unless it's like... Oh, okay, I'm wrong. I thought it was just going to knock them completely out. So, looking at this, to me, it kind of looks like whoever created the Hitman, group, and now creating, a sisterhood.
Right, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you remember in the old games that you were always in, I guess a Catholic church. Was it a monastery? Is that what it is? Where people in Catholic beliefs, kind of chill at?
You were an assassin for the Inquisition, basically.
What's that?
I think weren't you an assassin for the Inquisition or something like that?
Something like that.
I can't remember. It's been so long since I've actually played
It was
one.
a religious order that you were a part of. That you were at the start, if I remember correctly. I know. There's.
Yeah, Wake of Osiris says it always took place in a monastery. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like an assassin for the Inquisition. That's
Okay.
what I kind of remember. At
So
least.
now you see him, killing these nuns, supposedly, what I mean. But, like, now it's...
And the burning cross at the end there.
Yeah, and you see on the back of his head, did you see that where the barcode has been, like, kind of, I guess he's cut it off?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
To me, that kind of says, if that's the case, then maybe he's trying to now settle down out of this world of like bloodshed.
Definitely seems like it. What you were saying is, he was trying to get out, and of course, something like that.
That would definitely keep you in.
From what everybody knows from movies and everything like that, when you're in a business like that, you can't just leave,
Well, you can.
You either die or you stay in. And if you want to leave, well, then your only choice is to be killed, so...
Yeah.
Well, in that case, let's hope there's not anything like, giant bubbles and I am number 6. Because that's what it looks like. They're kind of going towards that. He's basically gone rogue to get out.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that really kind of justifies, their, more action-oriented, system to the game, rather than, from what I've heard and stuff about it, is that it's not going to be the typical, like, Hitman or whatever. It's going to be a little bit more action-based, rather than kind of, tactical or whatever, like the old ones were, hey, you dress up in disguise and stuff like that. And I guess, if... he's trying to leave, and they basically got a kill order out on him. It makes sense that he can't do that kind of stuff anymore. So therefore, he has to go with a more, direct approach. So.
Yeah, and that kind of game. Look what it's following up after. I mean, things like Assassin's Creed, where you have that more proactive, I kill people, versus disguise, walk around, avoid being detected for a long period of time. And so, yeah, I can understand where that might get some people upset, that it's going more towards the Assassin's Creed angle of, I'm going to be a lot more proactive, a lot more action-oriented. Right. I'm going to kill somebody and have to make a literal run for it type of deal, versus I kill somebody, hide him in the closet, and then kind of sneak my ass out.
Yeah, I definitely.
To me, looking at the gameplay of it, it kind of reminds me of Conviction, Splinter Cell Conviction. So.
Yeah, Splinter Cell Conviction definitely was more hands-on and action-packed, and I mean, from what I played of it, it was a good game. So, Hitman, the old ones were good, and I loved that, and the Splinter Cells and stuff. So, and Conviction was cool, so it was actually kind of fun with the action route that they chose. So I'm hoping this is going to be kind of the same thing, to where it'll still be fun.
That's the big
mix
thing I'm
between
worried
the
about.
two.
Yeah, and it won't feel like too out of it, to where you're just like, okay, this is not fun at all,
What, I mean, did everybody play the old ones?
I played one of them.
I played
I didn't have the.
I played a lot
I don't
of
remember
them.
which one it was, but I played one.
Yeah.
I didn't have the patience
I know
to
I
walk
played
all my way through it.
Blood Money, but
I played Blood Money. I thought that was great.
yeah, it was
series.
phenomenal, dude. I was like, wow, this is freaking amazing.
So,
And I mean, then like I was comparing that to, the Splinter Cells. I played Blood Money after I played, like Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory and stuff like that, and all the way up to Conviction. I played pretty much every Splinter Cell game, and they both had that tactical, kind of aspect to it. And then now it seems like they're both switching. Or, Splinter Cell has switched, and now it seems like Hitman's kind of following it with the more action-packed, kind of, or oriented, I should say, combat. So, I think it'll be interesting. It could be pretty cool to see what they do with it, and if they do it right, then it could be actually a really good game. And, from the trailer alone, it actually looks like it could be quite interesting and have a good story behind it.
I hope so. I really do. I hope that it is, because I hope they don't screw the series up for a lot of people, because as known in the past, they decide that they're going to take a game and, screw it all up. That's...
I mean, I don't know if anyone knows this, but if you pre-order it, you get the Hitman Sniper Challenge.
Yeah, and some
Now,
people have actually played that.
I've played it on the PS3. I mean, you can complete it in less than a minute, but playing just that small snippet of the game, it was phenomenal. I mean, graphically, it looks awesome, and all the animations, the sounds, the gameplay, it all plays out really nice. So, I'm actually considering pre-ordering that.
I'd say we kick it over to the next trailer of the night that we've got. Is going to be a game that everybody played early on, which I
until they took an arrow to the knee. Just saying.
Oh.
There's the arrow to the knee joke.
Yes.
Shoot me in the face.
Can't have it without the joke. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I had
no.
to.
Well, as
He sneaked it in there.
I guess that Facebook is taking a big crap right now, also, as we try to do stuff.
It's Facebook. What do you expect?
Yeah, way to go, public.
Everybody's going, sell!
No shit.
But we
right?
digress.
No shit. Alright, guys, we'll go ahead and kick it over to the next trailer of the night. Next trailer of the night is going to be a little Skyrim Dawn Guard, which we'll see how
So this actually got leaked. This wasn't officially announced until someone
never.
leaked it.
I'm crossing my fingers as an arrow to the knee joke somewhere in the
I'll
trailer.
fucking kill somebody.
No, there isn't.
Hope to
Spoilers.
God.
Really? You gotta kill my dreams, man? What?
Yes.
Dude, that's not cool. That's not
Looks
cool,
good.
man.
I think you might actually see someone taking an arrow to the knee, but
That's good enough. That's good enough. That's all I need.
Is it to be one of us?
Yeah, that's one thing I've always loved about, like, the Elder Scrolls games.
The
Is
souls of the living.
already, I'm just like, wow, this DLC looks amazing, you know? Like, even in, like, Oblivion, you know, the Shivering Isles, and as well as, like, their little DLCs that they had, you know, like, little add-ons, were epic.
God.
Like, they didn't add much.
Always done a good job on that type
Oh, yeah.
of thing. Even when the player mods on Skyrim for the PC always seem to have been really good for that. I don't know.
I mean, it looks good.
I haven't actually. I kind of broke away from Skyrim because I had too many other things to deal with, and I haven't gone back yet to it.
Yeah.
I need to.
I've played a little bit of it. I haven't beat it at all because I only had it for a little while when my brother let me borrow it. So I got a little bit into it, and I mean, it's a cool game. You know, one thing that I've always loved about the Elder Scrolls game is the combat. You know.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, you know, to bring this up, that really kills me about them making that MMO.
No,
That they're
it's
going-
not- oh.
And it's
Is that
not going
they're
over well
the
either.
traditional MMO with the tab target instead of the, you know, authentic fucking Elder Scrolls action, you know.
That's going to kill them. Honestly, that will kill that MMO faster than anything else. They've had to come out actually and say, no, that was just a mock-up. We haven't really decided that that's what we're going to do yet. I think they got nailed big time by the fans, so they're rethinking that.
I hope so, man. I hope to God, because I mean, to be honest with you, that
The combat of Skyrim is really, and just the Elder Scrolls series in period, has made so much of a. How my printer died. That's what makes it unique.
Yeah, that's what really draws a lot of people in. You know, like the backstory and everything like that. You know, is just kind of like extra stuff. You know, a lot of people want to get in there and experience that combat and everything, and you know, because it's just amazing.
Nobody else
I
has
can
combat
say I'm
like
guilty of that.
No, nobody has a combat system like that. I mean, nobody has a. I mean, everybody is either tab targeting or arcade targeting, and nobody really has that kind of combat system. And that's what makes Elder Scrolls unique and gives it a niche. And by taking that away for the MMO, they're killing themselves, because then it becomes just another WoW clone or just another SWTOR clone.
Yeah, but I mean, all in all, with this trailer, you know, for the DLC and stuff, it It looks phenomenal. I mean, given just
Yeah.
their past record with their DLC stuff that they've, released out, with like Oblivion and stuff like that, it's going to be interesting at least. I mean, it's like you may not like it at the end, some people probably won't, but I mean, you're going to be like, "Oh, wow," when you first get in there, so you're like, "Wow, this is kind of interesting, this is new, got all this extra stuff, here that I can, explore and stuff like that." So, it's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so also. So, what we'll do, we'll kick it over to a little bit of the news. How about that? So, big things going on right now. As you all remember, THQ had, a little bit of financial problems. They were blaming it on, Red Faction, Armageddon. That did really bad. Saints Row helped them out a little bit, but still they're saying that they got a little bit of a loss on that. And also, the 100% phenomenal game that I cannot remember that they said that was causing them problems also was... Homefront, that's it. That lost them tons of money because they did, if you remember, they did all the big, publicity for, the game releasing, even sending the balloons out everywhere, all the marketing for that, it completely flopped in their face.
Yeah. And that is really depressing because I was actually had a lot of potential behind it.
I hoped it did.
See, they built that up and it looked awesome, and I was really quite interested in getting it until someone showed me it, and I was just like, no.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see THQ around much longer.
Yeah, I mean they have some really interesting, I guess, people on their teams who have some really interesting ideas. And the one thing that I saw, especially, or one thing that I saw that really intrigued me was in Homefront when I played it, because they did something different. It was mainly infantry based, but as you got kills and stuff, you could call in, or get points to upgrade to where you could, drive a tank around or, stuff like that. Like, you had battle points that you could use. So, I thought that was cool. So, I mean, they have some good people there, and it really kind of sucks that, you see them saying, hey, we're losing money on these games.
Because they're really great concepts, to be honest, but the problem is that, concepts only get you so far. And I'm really absolutely amazed that they they just are losing money. But this new president's going to help them out a little bit. We'll see what happens there. So, and a loss of $239 million. Wow.
Honestly, I could see them divesting themselves of everything and just keeping the sports games.
Yeah,
because
they said they're going down to their core.
Keep on the money. I mean, UFC and WWE, the two licensed franchises they have, make money. So I can definitely see that down the line that they eventually they jettison the rest of the game, rest of their stuff, and keep with just the two core games and go from there.
Do they really make enough money just off those two games though, or that genre, anyways? I mean, because those are just kind of, I guess you could kind of say, what are those like?
They're niche.
Almost
games. They're a niche game.
Fighter games, simulator
well,
games.
I mean,
it's like simulation fighter games, something like that. I mean, it's like that genre. Does it really have enough hold to really sustain them as a company, though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That they would be either cut away or spin that off into its own company of some sort, because it makes enough to cover what they do there. I mean, they make a profit for what they spend on them. So a profit's a profit. If you've got a bunch of losses on other stuff, you're going to end up having.
Should be kind of interesting. I mean, because they got what, Darksiders 2 coming up.
Yep, that's one of their big cores that they said that they're working. Basically on.
I think that might be probably the make it or break it game. I think probably.
I see, going back to Homefront and profit loss and everything. I know this is on the next topic, but see, looking at the Wii U list, they're on about Homefront 2. And if Homefront 1's anything to go on, I think that's going to kill THQ big. Unless they rapidly redesign the whole.
They got a
entire
brand
thing.
new system, man. They're using the Crytek
Yeah,
system now, so...
I was gonna say, you know,
And
because
Crytek's got they're the developers for it now, correct? Am I right about that? That
I believe so. I
Ryotech
could
is
be
actually
wrong.
taking that over?
I'm
yeah,
not positive.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Homefront 2
right.
for Wii U is an extra first-person shooter in development at Crytek UK. But I mean, with Homefront 2, they've had a lot to learn from, you know, what people didn't like or what really didn't flow well in Homefront 1. So, I mean, that's really the only good thing about like making a sequel to a game or whatever, is that you can learn from the first one and fix your mistakes and make the game better, make it what it was supposed to be, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it could be interesting, and I think, you know, the fact that they're putting it on the Wii U could be kind of, I guess, interesting to see how that would work with the system and everything, you know, how, you know, everything would function. So I think it'll be interesting. It'll be one of the things where we'll have to keep an eye on it and actually see how it works out.
So let's go into this new president a little bit that, you know, you see right now. Let's see here. Here's Jason Rubin. He was... Where was he at? He was born in 1970. Ooh, so he's got 10 years. But, yeah, basically...
I'm older. Okay, anyway.
Do we really want to go into this game, Dave?
I don't joking.
But I mean, really, what he's mostly known for is the Crash Bandicoot series. Anybody remember that?
Ooh, really now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Phenomenal games, just saying.
Which was produced by Naughty Dog, which also produces what games? Oh, Uncharted. Hello. So yeah, I mean,
They're phenomenal game series, just saying. Trend.
Just saying, you know. So now he is in charge. He got out of the game industry there for a while, and now he's back in it again. So I think he's gonna do, like, the first thing he said. You know, first thing we're gonna do is take care of core games, aka being Darksiders, which makes money, WWE, which makes money, the you know, Undisputed, you know, UFC, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Stick to your core, and that's what he's going to do, is stick to his core. Not multiple different other games, not the, you know, that I can't think of off the top of my head, but he said that he's going to stick to these, you know, and try to help build the company back up. Then once they get that good, then they'll be able to go out and explore other IPs and stuff like that, which is phenomenal. I think the last, you know, the if THQ was going to collapse, then they're going to do it 2 years from now. I think they bought themselves 2 more years to be able, possibly even maybe 4, because it takes a little bit of time to, you know, develop games, but maybe 4 years. I don't see them going anywhere. I see them going and do a turnaround. Complete turnaround.
They possibly
I'd
can,
like
because
to.
they've got enough stuff there that they're making money off of to where they can at least sustain themselves, keep themselves afloat, and, you know, as a company and stuff, and you know, if they can do that, then they can, you know, have some people in the back going off and kind of exploring, like, hey, can we do this as a game? Can we do this? And kind of pitch ideas to get that big hit that people will want to play.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that you have a loss right now, but that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. They've got enough. They still have enough capital revenue and everything, and they still have enough income that, you know, they can suck a loss for a little while, but they need to turn it around. They know it, and they were smart enough to get Ruben, and I think he's going to be a good guy for him. I think Corey Ledesma, who's the, you know, the project lead for the WWE and the UFC Undisputed stuff, is definitely sounding a positive note. They actually were doing a tour of Japan and seeing Japanese wrestling, so that he was mentioning on his Twitter. So that is a little bit of an intrigue to see what happens with WWE 13, whether or not they have a little more of that in there, or you know, UFC, you know, people from you know, Japan area, you know, add a little bit more of that flavor into it and see what. So he seemed positive. I think with him being positive, I'm positive.
There you go. So we move on to the next one. Next one's going to be a little bit of the Wii U game list is out, supposedly leaked. I don't see
I think we'll know officially on
Maybe.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, if the Wii U launches, is supposed to launch this year. They haven't gave a date on it yet, but supposedly people are saying around November. If this game, its system launches with good games behind it, pushing the system will do well. Even though the Wii did, well for itself, selling itself, there really wasn't, any software being sold with the system that much. They got their game, oh boy, Wii bowling, and now, and selling the core games, Zelda and Smash Brothers, and also Mario Kart, and then your phenomenal Mario games. So we'll have to see what they do with that. But the list that they had is actually, right?
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Sounds
there was,
pretty good.
of course, things on there that I wasn't surprised about, and then there was actually a couple on there that I was like, really? Of course, with all Nintendo stuff, new consoles, whatever, you are gonna have the Mario stuff, and then of course Zelda. That's pretty much a given. But after looking at this, the things that I was really surprised about was Ghost Recon Online. Where was it? Battlefield 3. I was actually kind of shocked about. Basically, just generally most of the shooters.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the list, again, there's a lot of common ones. The one that was kind of interesting to see, to me, at least, supposedly going to be announced right off the bat, is the Arkham City.
See how well it does.
Yeah, I mean, that one is kind of... The others are all kind of, pretty well standard. That one was a little bit different, in my opinion. The Homefront 2, because of the issue that we just heard about Homefront sucking wind for sales, seeing the Homefront 2 is almost a shock, too.
Yeah.
But just because of that... let's see. There was one other, and now I can't spot it. Maybe it was the Injustice that I just saw something about today. The Injustice: Gods Among Us. Maybe that one was that. Maybe I'm wrong on that, so I'm not going to really say too much on that. But it sounded like it was a fighting game that was tied to a DC license.
Ah, gotcha.
But I'm not positive that's the case. But I saw that looks familiar. That it is that is basically by the guys who did Mortal Kombat versus DC Heroes, and it's a DC licensed game, and it'll feature things like Superman versus Batman. But that might not be the game. I just saw that today. So
the big one for me on that whole list is Pikmin. Pikmin 3, if they do that and they do it right, then that's going to be good. Also, with the new Super Mario Brothers Me, I guess, edition, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that. But of course, there's going to be a Zelda game, so, it's...
Yeah, like I said, they have their core games.
You're going to have Zelda, you're going to have a FIFA. I'm surprised to see Madden is not on there. With seeing FIFA and seeing Crisis and seeing NBA Live, I'm surprised that Madden is not listed.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Stu?
Right. I was just going to say, looking at the list, most of these games I would say are going to come out probably half a year to a year. If the console's coming out in November, half the games on that list I'd see coming out more in 2013,
right,
rather than on launch. Because let's take one off the list straight away. Aliens Colonial Marines, that's been delayed until again later next year.
Yep.
So I think if they are going to announce that it's going to launch this year, the only games you're going to see launch with it are probably Nintendo's games.
Yeah, and
I could see the EAs also.
Just to kind of emphasize on my whole thing with the shooters and stuff, because I know there's probably some people thinking it could work because the Wii U controller has the joysticks, two little bumpers or whatever. My whole thing with it is you look at shooters, that are on the consoles now, PS3 and Xbox 360, right? The layout is completely different than what the Wii U is. I'm looking at it and I'm like, it would be awkward for a shooter to be played on the Wii U,
Well,
it's
I mean,
like
that's like when
if
you played N64. Sorry for jumping in.
Oh
but-
no, that's cool. But I mean, it just seems weird because like a lot of these shooters or whatever, like perfect example, Battlefield 3 is as far as consoles go, it is you got the Xbox 360, PS3, and you look at the controller layout, you compare it to the Wii U. I'm kind of wondering how they're going to set up some of that because from what I can see of the pictures and stuff, the Wii U controller only has like what, 2 bumpers or whatever, where Battlefield 3 utilizes 4 bumpers on the modern console controllers. So it's like that in itself could be a problem because not only do you have your aim down your sight and your shoot, but you also have I believe it's like your grenade and I forget what the last one is.
Knife.
Knife, yeah. So it's like grenade and knife, like it's really not Battlefield without those.
Looking at the controller, it's got the same amount, almost the same amount of buttons as, the PS3 and the Xbox controllers, but then, yeah. Exactly what Cosmo
my
pointed
big thing
out.
is I think it might feel weird for people who are used to Xbox 360 and like PS3 controllers to have the joysticks even with each other or whatever. Well, not really so much as PS3, but I mean, I guess the whole reaching down for like, X, B, Y, A and stuff like that, I think that might get a little weird after a while because on both the PS3 and the Xbox controllers, you're just reaching up, but not, at like, a really grand distance or anything like that, and it's, I don't know, I think it's just going to be a lot weirder for people to actually play with it.
Hey, on the cast, you should be able to see the the layout of it. With the circle pad, the control pad, speaker, left speaker, right speaker, all that stuff.
Not only that, but I mean your start button and stuff like that. That stuff's at the bottom. So if you got to go in, change a setting, you basically got to take a full hand off of the controller to go down there, press start, and then change your settings and stuff. So it's not. In my eyes, it's not really going to be an efficient, quick way to kind of get through what you would need to. Like if you were in a shooter game, which is what I'm kind of more concerned about. For a shooter game, if you need to change a setting, you want to get in there and get it done quick.
Oh yeah, I'm just wondering if they'll put, instead of the bumpers like that you normally have in these kind of games, whether or not since you have 2 circle pads, whether or not one circle pad will be your movement, but the other circle pad will be the 4 directions for the 4 other bumpers that would normally be. You could kind of work it with programming, I think, to get that around those problems. But I really think, to me, it's going to be like playing, and I don't know how big that really is or anything. To me, it's going to be like trying to play with an iPod or an iPad.
Yeah, and I mean
and that's kind of going to be, you're going to be running around like this and stuff, and then that's going to be kind of that'll be awkward to me. I mean, that's where the problem is going to be when you want, slick controls for like a shooter type of game. That's having that big huge pad that is gonna might be pretty awkward. That's where I would see where there would be a problem.
Thing is, where you're saying with the analog sticks, with Battlefield, you wouldn't be able to do it because you left clicks your sprint, and then I believe the right click is
Your zoom in.
No, that's the left trigger.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I can't
I don't know.
remember now.
Battlefield's controls are just so crazy. But I mean, another thing I'm concerned about, like it just kind of popped in my head too when you put that up on the screen. I was looking at it, and the picture I have is actually showing it, I guess, like in someone's hands or whatever, and the way they have their hands set up. I'm looking at it, and it's looking like you're gonna have to reach a little bit for the joysticks because it seems like they're high up on the pad.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I don't see why they wouldn't have put those down in the middle on the sides,
Right.
to where you'd be comfortable. Because, when you got an Xbox 360 or PS3 controller in your hand, you're not reaching. you're
No.
comfortable, you know?
It's
You
in the
have,
grip.
you know, yeah. You
Yeah,
have some
I-
kind of, you know, flexibility and,
The
you
thing
know,
is, you
extra
gotta-
reach in there.
Thing is, you got to remember, it's Nintendo. They're notorious for doing weird stuff.
The only thing good they've ever done with any of the stuff that they ever produces. Remember the GameCube controller was phenomenal back when it
Yes.
came
Oh
out.
yeah, that was
It
good.
Absolutely phenomenal.
That was good.
But other
Well,
than
I like
that,
the N64. I like the N64 controller myself.
I hated
but
that. I hated how you had to like choose, go from one extreme to the other, like go around.
That's true.
so
that's true,
That's the
but-
one thing I didn't care for too much on that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see if this is going to be the list that we get, here soon. This is not an official list, but we see what as we see it being a prediction show. But the next one we're going to kick off with is a little bit of Dead Space 3. We got screenshots today. We've got a confirmation that there is going to be a live playable demo at E3. So I am really looking forward to this game. Big fan of the first two. Haven't beat the second one. Now this pushes me to beat that one. So what do you think?
Looking at the screenshots, I don't think it's current gen.
Really?
Yeah, it's. I mean, if you look at the models, it looks like they've got tessellation on them. So whether these are PC screenshots, which I'm doubting they don't usually do, for, Dead Space, they're notorious for doing PlayStation stuff because that's where it's aimed at mainly. I would say this is, if anything, this could be next gen, or PC maybe, but which would be an odd step for them for taking the footage from it.
Yeah, because usually when they do screenshots, that they prefer to do them from the consoles.
Right.
Mm.
So what do you guys
Because
think?
it's a bigger audience.
I don't know. I do kind of see what Stu's talking about. I mean, just looking at them in my eyes, they do seem to be a lot more, I guess, detailed. They do seem to look a lot better from what I've seen from Dead Space 1 and 2 stuff. So, yeah,
This might be the first time you're seeing the maximum potential of a PlayStation 3, and if it is, then I'm pleased for them. It'll be the first game in history, and then
I'm
that
afraid-
console will be scrapped.
I'm afraid at least the better looking pictures on that list are all are actually not from the game but are
cinematic based.
cinematics, and
Could
that's
be.
where
Awesome.
I'm always hesitant when I cannot see the actual controls that I'm going to be playing in the game, whether or not it's really a cinematic. Because
Yeah.
you can always do the cinematics better. See, those to me look like the cinematics. They don't look like the actual gameplay.
Definitely.
The
just-
ones that are popping up. I don't know. Do you have one of the pictures, Adam? That's the actual gameplay?
Nope. Haven't
Because
seen anything yet.
like I say, that it looks. Those look like cinematics to me, and you can get fooled with the cinematics. The cinematics will always be better because you don't have to worry about the controls.
Yeah, because you get a lot more processing and rendering power.
Yeah, I do see what you're saying, though. Now going back and looking at them after having this whole cinematic thing in my mind, there are a couple in there where just the way it was, I guess, shot or something like that, and just because of the way, I guess the actual picture is set up, where it would definitely seem like a cinematic moment.
Well, Joe Numbers is saying in chat that we've got to remember that the cinematics in 1 and 2 are all done in-game, and they were pretty good graphics for in-game.
Well,
but at the same time, it didn't look better than the actual gameplay, so
And
brings
there's
me
one
back to
right
my
there. I
original
guess
point.
that's in-game play right there. So
Yeah, so now that if that's the in-game play, that's going to be good. I mean, there's no way around that. That looks good to
I'm
me.
hoping.
Yeah.
And I'm always skeptical if I don't actually see the UI on the screen.
See, this will make me
Anyway.
laugh. You'll find out at E3 this isn't actually in-game footage. This is all CG rendered advertisement promo for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
As always.
and
right?
me personally, I
Could
mean,
be. I mean,
I'm I don't know. I hate to say this, but I'm really not excited for Dead Space 3 because honestly, I haven't really played the first or second one at all. So it's just really one of them games that doesn't appeal to me simply because I don't know like anything really about it because I haven't played the other two. So it's just like.
All I can say, it reminds me of Doom with the flashlight, and that stuff scared the absolute shit out of me.
Dude,
oh yeah, Doom.
I've seen it played. I haven't ever played it myself, but I have seen 1 and 2 played, and you know, it's scary crap. I'm not going to disagree with you, and
I'm not gonna lie. I can't play this game without. I can't play it without in headsets. There's got to be somebody around me. Because there's little tentacle babies that have the tentacles off their back, and I scream like a girl every single time. Every single time. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Having heard that, he's not kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I played it with my headset on. The first time I got these headsets, I was like, right, I'm gonna test these out. I'm gonna see how accurate these are. Put Dead Space in on the PlayStation. Plug these in. You start playing it and you're like, okay, these are good, and then you're walking down the dark corridors and you can hear everything in the room. I shat myself.
Yeah, I don't know.
You have a good 5.1. Don't use it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely these the Dead Space games. They're on PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're on PC and also Xbox and also
okay, yeah,
PS3.
because they were definitely on the list, especially recently, that have been on my list to get. Like they're definitely games that I want to play because they are interesting. I have my brother had them before he moved out, and I seen him play them, and they did look interesting. Like they look like a really kind of suspenseful and intense game. And me, I loved Doom 3, absolutely loved it. So. I mean, like, seeing somebody cast them and stuff, or play them or whatever, seeing someone else do it is completely different because you don't really get as in-depth to it because you're not paying that much attention as to where if you're actually playing it. So it's just like, I would love to experience them for myself because they seem like they'd be awesome, and, I got a new graphics card now, and I got a 5.1 surround sound headset, so it's like, dude, I want to do this.
Well, Joe Numbers is saying in chat he wants to cast it for you in 720p HD.
I'd rather play it myself. That's the thing. You get more into it when you're playing it.
That's exactly right. Me personally, sir, I want to scream like a girl. This me.
Hey man, it's whatever. I'll say.
Like
I mean. It's like, if I jump, I'll jump and I'll admit it. I don't care, that's what makes a great game, especially if it's supposed to be a kind of like a horror game or whatever. If it makes you jump, then it's done its job. There's no shame in that, like people who freak out over like amnesia and stuff like that. It's like some people go in there and like, oh, you guys are retarded for, you guys are retarded for screaming at this. Like, no, the game was designed to do this. If it does its job, awesome.
Yep.
That means it's a great game and it does its job well.
Yeah, I know of a caster who broadcast the amnesia with the lights off and things right up there against the.
Yeah, I know a couple people who casted it.
It's hilarious. I mean, you get the effect of the scare, and that's what you're looking for in those kind of games.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something because really I haven't played a game that has made. I haven't played a game that's made me jump in a while. Like, I think the last game I played that made me jump was Doom 3, and that was just, Doom 3, it wasn't like a scare, like, oh my god, freaking out. It was one of the things where, like, something jumps out at you, and you're like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. But, I mean, I think Dead Space, because it has all the background noises and stuff like that, I think it could really get inside your head. And
pipes busting, pipes bust right in front of you, and it goes and sprays down, and you're like, shit. Oh my god, what the hell is that?
See, that would be awesome. I would love to fucking experience that.
Griffin's saying it would be interesting for Adam to stream Dead Space 2 and hear him scream like a little girl on cast.
Screaming like a little girl. I think you should stream Amnesia instead. That's just me. I've heard Amnesia has really terrified some people. Lights off and everything, dude. I think that's your next cast, Adam. No, DayZ was cool and all, but...
Shit, DayZ, I scream like a girl anyway.
DayZ screams like a girl, guys.
That's just
you
out
haven't
of
been
excitement.
here while he's streaming the DayZ mod for Arma 2. Do so, and prepare to put in your earplugs.
I turned my headset down.
I get into my games a little bit.
Mine
Just
goes a little bit like this or like this when he's playing.
Alright, so how about we move on to the next one? The next one's going to be a little bit of, Hero Kojima is going to be at E3. He said that he's in LA right now. So, yeah. Anybody want to predict this one already? Because you know what's going to happen.
What, Final Fantasy?
So, unless they're gonna, show their next projects using the Fox engine, if anyone remembers that, which looks pretty damn sweet, I think it's all kind of obvious. He's been there for the 3 years in a row, I think it is now. Showing off Metal Gear Rising. Because
that has been
obviously
revamped now.
Is it the creators of Bullet Witch or whatever that weird game is with the stupidly sexy lady in latex with guns in her heels?
Oh, you're talking about Bayonetta.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah.
They're the ones developing Metal Gear Rising. They rewrote the story to it, and they're using a different engine, apparently.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting what they've done with it. That's the only reason Kojima's going to be there.
So you think he's going to be there promoting this new game?
Yeah, again.
Yes.
Well, he was there last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been there. This would be like the
quite a
third
bit.
year.
Yeah.
He was on the Spike Awards, the Spike TV Game Awards.
I don't know. In my eyes, I mean, if he's been there the past couple years or whatever and stuff like that, and it's kind of be a trend, I guess to me, it doesn't seem like it would be surprising. I mean, just knowing that alone, I'd be like, oh, cool, he's going to E3. We're going to expect something or some new information. Cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be...
I want to know what happens to Snake, God damn it.
Dude, I really want to go ahead and go into predictions thing, so everybody remind me later on for a prediction for this right here, because I will definitely mind blow you right there. So, let's move on to the next one. Let's talk about the Game Informer June is having a new Gears of War game on the front of it. What the hell is this? Really? So anybody want to shoot at this one for a little bit?
Yep, this is me going to be. So, this is where I kind of bring up my college stuff as well here. So looking at the image with the covers, I would say this is an Unreal Engine 3. And I think even the article, says it, that it's going to go to Unreal Engine 4, which Epic are pushing for next-gen consoles because apparently the 360 won't be able to handle its pure awesomeness, if I remember the quote that Cliff Bleszinski actually put on his Twitter page. So, sneak peek at next-gen, guys.
Yeah.
And if anything, looking at what my friends have been saying and the industry's been saying, this game isn't going to be the continuation of Gears 3. It's going to be before the Gears of War. So the Colonial Wars or whatever it's called.
Okay, that makes sense then. Because I was kind of worried about it. I was like, wait a second. Wasn't 3 supposed to be their last years or whatever with that group? I mean, I haven't played it, so let's not go in depth into Gears of War 3 or whatever because I haven't played it. But
me and Stu need to still beat it, but that's gonna happen here soon. We just been tied up with work.
I'm just going off of kind of stuff that they basically were saying. So I mean, it makes sense that they're going, kind of back in time a bit before all that went down. So,
well, like Woods just pointed out, if you can't go forward, go backwards.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started on that crap, man. Seriously.
I mean, and it sucks, but at the same time, you end up piecing together more parts of story. You know, they can do
Just
more kind of
fucking,
story
like-
stuff with it, with characters, or you know, leading up to the characters or whatever. So you can kind of get a more feel for the game. So
But
I mean,
really, I mean, you can only do so much. Like, go back with these series so much. It's like, oh, we make Gears of War 1, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 3. You're waiting for Gears of War 4, but go ahead and fuck yourself, because we're going prequel, baby. No, stop. Like, really, stop. I hate it.
yeah, but I mean,
I
you know,
hate
they were
prequels.
moving forward, and then they got the end of what they could do for moving forward. So they're gonna go back and pick up the story, so that way you can, you know, piece, you know, the prequel stuff into with, you know, 1, 2, and 3, and therefore get the full picture. See, it makes sense.
And you see right there in chat what says, prequels are the new sequels, which is fucking the truth.
Yeah,
and it
dude,
drives
I've
me
known
insane.
that for like years now, dude. Just movies alone,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh yeah. But from
Damn
the
you,
article,
George Lucas. Damn.
from the article, they have that one picture in there of the dude with the assault rifle, and that looks pretty beast. I'm not gonna lie.
Looks damn good. I will have to say.
Yeah,
yes.
I've not really played the Gears of War series, but you know, I've looked at it and such like that. And yeah, it's annoying that they have to go the prequel route, but yeah, I do understand it with them. And you know, when they always when you talk about a war in the past, you know they're going to visit the war.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to know it was coming.
I hope
Yeah, I was
not.
gonna say, looking at the pictures, anyone else notice, you know, the background, you know, anything like that?
Well, the
How
thing
it
is
looks
with
kind
that
of modern day.
picture below, with the guy with the gun,
Yeah.
isn't Gears 4 or the next Gears. That's actually Call of Duty Black Ops.
Why would they have it in the same article
Oh, doofers.
Because if you read right underneath the cover, as soon as it gets to Epic's Unreal Engine 4, get ready for Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
then? That's misleading. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Get
see?
it off. Get it off. It's misleading. We will not speak at that game.
So it's not that. Then this is it.
Game
then.
Informer have a habit of mixing their articles.
Gotta go. Game Informer.
So there we
Hey,
go.
hey, guys, we can't wait for this game, so we're just going to cut half the article out and put a new one
Yeah,
in.
I mean, screw giving Black Ops 2 its own article. Let's throw it in with Gears of War.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Because we like to confuse our readers.
That's
better.
exactly
They just
right.
know Gears of War is the better game. You know, I'm just saying it right now. Anyways, moving on.
moving on.
I'm just saying, you know, nothing new.
Next
you know,
topic.
Nothing new going to be happening here at Lagspike. Stay tuned for the news articles. That we're going to be doing our own shit. So there you go. And things that are interesting. Moving on to the next story of the night is going to be a little bit of Battlefield Premium Fact Sheet, which I know Stu was like, oh man. But I think I got him convinced on this one, even though I was the
This is
one.
basically like Call of Duty Elite, but at a cheaper price. So I'm not going to argue.
So, you know, if anybody remembers me from a show that, you know, I did on, you know, other networks, you know, Riot Network, then we went AWOL for a little bit, then now lagspike.tv. There was a certain person out there that wanted to argue with me about the Call of Duty Elite and why it was a good idea. Now, here's the point where I come back and I say this right here makes sense completely, because you're saving money on this and you're getting a hell of a lot more with it. So, yeah. So, with this one right here, with the fact sheet that I'll bring up, which is really good if you'll can see that on your all side. Let me pull this up just a little bit bigger here.
See, looking at the list, right, there's 5 expansion packs.
Right.
Now, each expansion pack is usually around $15 itself.
Right.
And they're saying for a one-time fee that you pay $50, it covers not only the 5 expansion packs, but you're getting 20 new weapons, 10 plus vehicles, 4 new game types, 30 plus assignments, and 20 dog tags. Now, if you actually bought that all individually, you're going to be paying around like $75.
Yeah.
So
So this
What
right
option
here
are you going to
is-
go with?
Yeah, why not? I mean, with this right here, you're getting back to Carcane, which you should already got if you already bought it.
If not, go buy it now.
Yeah, you're gonna get close quarters, armored kill. See aftermath in game, which it's probably.
So they're basically just announcing pretty much in that their future DLCs. Then
Yep.
their future expansions.
Yep.
Yeah, and actually looking for the Xbox price, that's not a bad thing. 4,000 Microsoft points.
No,
Yeah.
it really isn't.
I mean, hell
You know,
yeah.
I'm kind of
So-
wondering. Sorry to kind of cut in and kind of digress here, but I'm just looking at the expansion names. You know, close quarters. You know, of course, is going to be an infantry map. So I'm wondering, armored kill. That definitely sounds like a more
Outdoor.
tank-oriented map.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And I'm wondering if like aftermath could be more of like a aerial,
yeah.
more air heavy.
Or a post-apocalyptic nuke type deal.
I think that could be in game though.
The
Yeah.
other thing, looking at the bottom, it says release date June 4th. So.
Yeah.
so-
June 4th, as in, Tuesday.
Really?
No,
Microsoft
Monday.
press conference.
Monday.
huh?
Monday. Microsoft
it
press
does
conference.
say that, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
June 4th,
So-
2012 for $49.99 on PlayStation, Xbox 360, and PS3.
Well.
So obviously, if EA is there, they're going to show this off.
EA.
Yeah.
EA has their press conference on Monday as well.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
get them.
And
So-
in here, not to mention for the $50, you are gonna. It says you get 2 weeks early access to all
Oh,
future
hell yeah, I'm
Battlefield
buying
3
that.
expansion packs. So I mean, you're getting 2 weeks early access. So that
What?
alone, not only are you getting like what is that? I think it was like $15, $20 off of what you would pay if you bought the expansion packs individually, but you're getting 2 weeks early access to them.
Not only that, it says here that you'll get a ACB 90 knife, a set of dog tags, exclusive soldier, weapon camos. Premium members will also get access to powerful new features such as the ability to reset stats
That's the big
queuing
thing that we got talking
priority.
about today.
and new decals for platoon emblems.
Yeah, not to mention the exclusive double XP weekends. Plus, they got like strategy guides and all this other stuff. So, I mean, definitely the maps in the early, getting them early or whatever, like 2 weeks ahead of time, that would have been worth the $50. But of course, all the in-game bonuses they're giving you, it's definitely seemed like this is more worthwhile.
What is this,
I
Dave?
think
What do you
they've-
have, Dave? What is that you have? What is
It's this
that?
little sign that says "Me no BF3." Oh wait,
Oh.
just say no to COD. Yes.
Oh
yes to
my
Battlefield.
gosh,
Awesome.
that is by far awesome. So-
You know what? I actually have this right here. This is the last Call of Duty that I bought. Right there.
and that stopped you?
This is the
They
last
just
one.
settled that. By the way, they just settled the lawsuit on that
Yeah,
today.
they just did today. What was the overall, Dave? What did they?
The overall on that is we're not talking.
Really?
We're not disclosing. Yeah, we're not disclosing what the deal is. If you guys don't know, the two guys from Activision that were behind the Modern Warfare 2 there were fired by Activision and accused of collaborating with I believe it was EA I believe it was with EA to create a new company and to create a better version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Well,
And
they would have let him.
they had a big hubbub about that. Supposedly, the lawsuit was settled today out of court, so they didn't go to court on it. But there's no real disclosure about what actually was agreed to for terms. They didn't disclose any terms.
Oh, aren't they just jerks?
Hmm.
Well,
I'm just going to jump in before we move on. Anyone that's having issues where the ads are popping up like every 5 seconds, Control F5 your browsers.
Yep.
fixes it.
And
Yeah, that's
okay, I think we got a new person in the chat. I'm just saying, never seen this name pop up in any of the previous casts.
Yeah, what's up, Maddie?
Just say what's up, Maddie. How is it going?
Yeah, what's up, John Obama? What's up?
Oh
Woods?
yeah, that's another one. Nice.
All those
Yeah.
people out there in the chat land.
Got a lot of new people. Welcome everybody.
Yep.
Well,
Thank you for
welcome
tuning in.
newcomers. If you've not seen the previous shows, you can check them out on our website.
That's right. And
Just
where would that be?
That would be on the shows page, and I'll put the actual link directly in.
All right.
All right. So
lagspike.tv/show/arcade, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
Boom! Look at that. Got that memorized. Seen the link once. Just saying.
All right.
Saying.
Your brain's not focusing on about 1,200,000 lines of code that's like gibberish to normal people.
No, because my brain can't handle the thought process it takes
You
to do
can't
that.
handle.
I keep with the simple things, dude. I keep with the simple things. Okay, I'm sorry.
I hate you.
All right, guys. For this time right here, what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna kick it over to a little bit of a commercial break to pay some bills, and we're gonna get into our E3 predictions right after this. And don't worry, there's a lot more from Lagspike, with the predictions, as we've had B Woods and also we have Joe Numbers giving our predictions also on this on pre-recorded stuff. So, all right, guys. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be right back after this ad. Oh yeah.